sensory experience of your feelings, okay, as an intuitive sensitive person. So the average person, perhaps we would look at them through filtering life through here, so through this 8, through the subconscious and down into our everyday world. You could say, as an intuitive sensitive person, certainly as far as our intuition is concerned, in the early sort of stages of it, is that it feels as though it's an interpretation of feelings filtered through the subconscious. Okay, so how do we interpret things in an intuitive way as an intuitive sensitive person? Or you interpret not specifically necessarily through your feelings. You might have an understanding of, well, how do I feel about this, etc. But even feelings can have a logical process as far as those are concerned. So we can logic emotion. You interpret, as an intuitive sensitive person, you interpret through your nervous system. So how do we look at it in terms of what the nervous system does? So in order for you to have an idea of that, it's a good idea for you to have a kind of a general picture of what the nervous system does. I'm sure you have a good idea of what it is, but just to sort of clarify that. So your spinal cord, so we can look at this in terms of the tree of life, okay? We can look at this line through, we can imagine this as your spine. Okay, you can imagine this, the central component of the tree of life as your backbone, as your spine, your spinal cord, and information and how that filters out. Okay, so your nervous system filters out information through your spinal cord. Okay, so it filters information out, but it also receives information in through interpretation. So you can imagine information coming from your external world towards you as an interpretation through your spinal cord. So looking at it as this, you've got the female and the male. You can interpret a definition of who you are. Okay, and quite often we interpret a definition of who we are through relationships. So you can have information flowing towards you as far as relationships are concerned. Okay, so if I draw that, so let's say you would have a flow of information. So we'll look at this as the spinal cord. Okay, spinal cord is energy in motion.